A scare in the sky for passengers on a Delta Airlines flight out of Grand Rapids this morning.
Shortly into the flight, one of the engines blew and the plane had to make an emergency landing. 13 on your side's Nate Belt live at the Gerald R. International Airport after talking to a passenger on that flight. Nate.
Yeah, guys, flight 2706 Delta Airlines left from here at Gerald R. Ford International Airport just about 7:30 this morning, and then shortly afterwards had to turn right back around, came back here. Now, I was heading to Minneapolis. Now, Tamara Kanassen from Rockford, she was on that flight. She makes this flight often. She's got family in Oregon. That's where she was headed to. But obviously today, a lot different than normal.
So it's usually a really pretty smooth flight. You get to Minneapolis, quick connection.
This time, however, the flight was anything but smooth. Tamara Kanassen says it happened about half an hour into the trip.
We heard this very loud boom, like loud.
Kanassen says the passengers immediately went silent.
I just said to the lady next to me, we both were like, are we ignoring this? Are we good? What's going on? You know, we were kind of freaked out.
In her head, she ran down the pre-flight emergency checklist she's heard from flight attendants so many times before.
And then I was like, oh my God, do I know how to do all those emergency things?
And waited in shock to find out what happened.
I didn't really think, are we going to die? I just thought, are we going down?
She says it was about 15 minutes before the pilot told passengers it was trouble with an engine and they'd be heading back to Grand Rapids. While she's set to get to her destination much later than anticipated, she's just glad to be safe.
This is sort of like maybe a little Christmas miracle.
Now, in a statement from Delta Airlines today, they tell us that the pilots of the plane followed the proper procedures in bringing it back here to Grand Rapids once the engine failure started. They say that all the passengers were able to continue on their journey today on a different aircraft. Reporting in Grand Rapids, Nate Belt, 13 on your side.
And we've been working throughout the day to learn more about this engine issue.
13 on your side's Carla Byron is in the newsroom. Carla, what did you learn today from Western Michigan University's College of Aviation?
Val, Juliet, so we know the passenger heard a loud boom, which according to Raymond Thompson, the interim dean of the College of Aviation, this isn't an unusual noise for an engine failure. How he explained it to me is there may have been a potential failure of the compressor or turbine section of the airplane engine. Oftentimes the bang heard is it start to come apart and hits the containment shield that's built in to keep any parts away from the plane's cabin. Thompson says an engine failure on a commercial flight is very, very rare. They're reliable and get routine maintenance.
For an engine to failure, and again, it could be due to a variety of causes, but we have more issues generally with the ingestion of a bird, particularly a larger bird, causing engine failure than engines mechanically failing themselves.
There are two primary engines on planes, but for them to be certified, they have to be able to fly with only one engine. If this was a failure, the pilot would shut the engine down, get the plane level and stable, and then return to the nearest airport, which is the safest option. Thompson says potentially something else like a piece of metal coming off could have caused the bang, but that's even rarer than an engine failure. This one incident shouldn't deter anyone from flying this holiday season, as this may have been more of a fluke incident. Of course, we'll continue to follow this story to see what the Delta teams are able to find out, guys.